excited you guys are here. We want to know how you did this past week. Like, what are the things, what are the wins that you want to celebrate? Please share in the chat and let us know. And thank you so much, Cindy, for inviting everybody to turn their camera on because it really is so good for you guys to see each other too. This is our last training together for this March class of Level Up. So take a look around, wave to people, write down names. Thank you, Stephanie. She's participating, and really, just take a look, especially as you all are writing how you leveled up this week and what your wins are.
Absolutely. I want to make sure, I saw in the chat it said waiting room participants, but I don't think we have anybody in the waiting room. So I just wanted to check that before we jumped on in. I'm really tongue-tied today.
Me too.
It's Manic Monday. I'm like, I need to do a, when voice coaches, they have you roll your tongue or do all those things to get your mouth ready to talk.
I can't do it.
No, I can't do it. Right. I love this. Monica, I see this just because you are at the bottom that just popped up.
Oh,
retail sales, $2,500. Of course, we all can do the real fast math on how many rings that would be if you added that many CEs, right?
Right. But so there I am doing great with the NCRS rather. But I haven't closed any rings yet. I say yet because of the fact that I have not sponsored any new teammates. They're all like right there. They're hovering. They're like, yeah, I'm interested. Tell me. And I'm telling, and they're, so they're kind of like in the doorway, but and it's driving me crazy.
The great news is when we get to the next slide, it's basically going to be all about you, as well as those others who have new customer retail sales. Your intention then for this week, I'm just going to go out on a limb and state your intention for you would be to laser focus on those new CEs because you know what's ahead. And if you closed, 4 rings, of course, every ring is worth 2,000, but when you close your your fourth, you get a bonus 2,000 for 10,000 points. All of a sudden, holy moly, you are really right there with the vacation. And so I know that's something that's really interesting. So it will be interesting to see how your intention shapes up on the reflection survey. Because I'm sure that's there, right, Chris?
That's right, Cindy. I want to, first of all, congratulations, Monica. I know it's so hard, like when you've got all of that, you think, really and truly, I think you've got the hard part taken care of because a lot of people who have been in the business as long as you have are having to learn how to find new customers. And instead of just always going back to the old ones that you have in the wine clubs and everything. And so going out there and getting those new customers, you've done the hard part. Now that you've gotten new customers, you've got a whole new pool of people to talk to about the business. And so get really, really good with your follow-ups. And I would make that your intention this week too, is just to be following up and thanking everybody, and don't be afraid to invite them because even though they may be new to One Hope, they may have been approached 4 or 5 times before about a new business, and maybe this would be the one where they would say yes. So definitely, definitely think about that. One of the things too, I'm loving this. My team is growing, promoting too. Yes, Eileen, we're working on 2 SCEs, aren't we? And you're about to close a ring. So lots of good things. We got some rings closing on Eileen's team. And I will also tell you guys that we are going to be spinning the wheel at the very end tonight for the Booking Blitz. So if you participate in the Booking Blitz, you definitely want to stay on. We'll stay on anyway, because I want you guys to see who participated in the Booking Blitz. And we're going to do two drawings tonight, one for participation, one for the events that were booked. And so I'm excited about that. And I know Jill Hansen is in there. Monica's in there, of course. Eileen is. We've got Jill in there, and a few more people that are on tonight. So great job. Great job, everybody.
Can I ask a question, Chris?
Yes.
So I just saw that today. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do that. So there I was at work on my break filling out the Google form with okay, so how many sales did you get and what's their name and what did they, like, what was the total, and specifically, writing down, itemizing it, which I did. So was I supposed to do that with, let's say I had a new event from, if I had an event from what do you call, a reach out, and then there were sales from that, would that count? Was I supposed to write those or no?
It was actually just the ones from the Booking Blitz, if you
Okay,
participated in the Booking Blitz.
okay. So, yeah,
So
that's
from
fine then.
Wednesday to Friday.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't do Saturday's event, but that didn't sound right. Okay, thank you. I'm good.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. All right. So as you all know, we have this framework for you to be evaluating every week, of course, your business, stating your intention, deciding what do you want to do this week, right now, what do you want to have happen, and then committing to consistency. Of course, that's committing to the habits that are going to help you reach your goals, declaring your end goal. You've got to share it with people, because if you don't share it with people, then where's the accountability? Where, you can't keep it to yourself. You've got to get it out there, and you want to declare your goal. Getting into activity, nothing matters unless you get into activity. Enough said there. And then evaluating and pivoting. Like, what did you learn from last week? What are you going to do differently this week? What's your intention going to be for this week? I want you guys to think about something. We introduced commit to consistency in this framework. I want you to think about a third C, and that's courage, because this is the time this week, with 5 days left of the month, for you to really dig deep and find your courage to go for it. There's so much that can happen. What can you do? I often think about different people that I'm coaching, and I learn so much from you guys. And what I have learned is that there's a lot of people that have no excuses. And then there's some people that have excuses. But the thing is that you need to believe in yourself enough and find your courage to be able to go for it, to move into your out of your comfort zone, and to go to a place where the magic is going to happen. So that's this week. I want you to think about courage as well. Okay.
I love that. As we transition, Chris, I want to mention just an idea for courage. I noticed in the comments, Monica said that she had 10 future hosts. And can you imagine if you put your courage hat on and you reached out to those 10 future hosts, potential hosts, and said, listen, my business is so full at the moment. I have 9 other people that are looking to have an event with me. I need CEs. Like, we need help. There is so much abundance that, we need more CEs that are out there helping to create an impact. What would that look like if you flipped it that way and had 10 sponsoring conversations? It doesn't seem like, sometimes booking seems like the easier one, but again, with the mountaintop method, just maybe, pulling out that courage and starting there. That's what I thought of when I heard you say courage.
I love that, Cindy. Great.
Now, of course, when you're inviting people to join you as a CE, you are covering the M in more. And that stands for mentoring 2 new CEs. Well, it's mentoring, but we like to do the 2-2-2-2. And so mentoring 2 new CEs each month will help you grow a sustainable business. So even if you think you don't want to build, people are going to be interested. And again, using, the 10 people that Monica said are interested in hosting, it makes you kind of wonder, is that all they're interested in, or are they interested in more? And it isn't hard if you simply show people what you're doing. And it is really, really fun to do with friends. So we, like to talk about how much more fun it is with a friend when you link arms, but really, truly, when you're doing it with somebody else, you get to experience what it's like to help someone else find some success and some joy in sharing and creating an impact or an income, I should say. So that's my favorite thing about mentoring, really.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, there you go. It's a good one.
It's totally my favorite. I mean, when
Mhm.
I was in the business, I loved knowing that I had a hand in helping somebody achieve their goals and then celebrating them. It's one of the things I'm so excited about you guys for Crush to be able to celebrate everybody walking across stage too. How about you, Cindy?
Oh, for sure. That's a
That's right.
fun moment. Now, wouldn't you know it, what happens when you prospect at events, Chris?
Yes, you can obviously find a whole new group of potential CEs, and you're going to be able to find those team members that you can celebrate. And I love this, you guys. Events are so smart because everyone is going to see what you do. Like there will be no guessing that you go do trade shows. Do you put ads on, on Facebook? No. If you are out there and you're doing the events and you're showing them what a successful CE does, then they're going to be able to make that decision right then. It's so smart to build this way. It's a great way for you to be able to invite people, of course, that are looking at the business or who have joined your business to be able to learn how to do this. So even you don't have to invent a team training or create a team training on how to do an event if you invite people from your team to come to the event. So it's a great way to do it. It's a fun environment. It's an efficient use of your time for training purposes. And who do you prospect? Well, you prospect everyone, but you know what? Your host is already pretty much 50% in the door. They're partnering with you and they are sharing you with their contacts and they trust you. So remember that they are your top prospect. And then of course, your guest. And when I talk about your guests, think about the guests who also place outside orders that you can thank. And then think about the guest who is very quiet and may not be placing an order. Have a conversation with them and get to know them and build that relationship. And then, of course, I think it's always, always great to ask for referrals. So that's who you prospect. What do
And
you
then,
anything about that, Cindy?
well, I did. I was thinking about Monica's host, who has the
Yeah.
10 people that want. Monica's sitting on a gold mine over there.
Oh, I already talked to one. She's going to Leaders and Living with me on
Perfect.
Wednesday.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yay!
I'd say with 10 potential shows, events coming from her event, that would be like a 90% in, if I'm doing the math, right? Take the 50 from 90. So, what does it look like, right? When you're at your event, being scripted and using somebody else's words that are not your own are going to come across forced. And that never inspires anyone to want to do what you do. So you always want to inspire them by just being authentically who you are. Remember, you're looking for potential teammates, not looking for decisions. Many people are not just going to say, yes, I'll do that right now. They need to think about it. They need to see what it looks like. And if you're making it look appealing and intriguing, it's going to help them along. They're going to be able to see themselves in your shoes, if you will, doing what you're doing. So, you have to remember this could be the first time they've ever heard about One Hope. So definitely creating that interest and excitement is really fun for them. And you don't need to tell them everything about the company. You just want to give them enough where they're interested in hearing more.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. It's all about, right, it's your storefront. It's a display. It's like let them see a little bit, but invite them in. So another great way to invite them in, of course, is to smile. I love this because this is mentoring or prospecting in a nutshell. You have to smile. You have to be magnetic. You have to be inviting people to come in. And then, of course, sharing those stories, sharing the different things about the business and what it means to you. Tell the story of what attracted you to One Hope, and then share some of the discoveries that you've made about yourself as well. Your goal is for people to picture themselves in your shoes. So your story, it matters. And then, of course, let's talk about the stories, because I think the ideal way to share is to weave bits and pieces of your story throughout your event presentation. I know Diana Federico Howe has it mastered where she does it 4 times. I would always say, make sure you do it at least 3 times. at a minimum. And so I can't wait to hear how Diana does it 4 times. But it's so important for you guys to weave it in. And when you weave it in with bits and pieces of your story throughout your presentation, especially during the wine tasting part, it makes it so believable and people can imagine themselves in the story too. And this way, when you do it this way, you are not stopping the flow of the event for a lengthy discussion about becoming a CE. Okay? You don't want to stop and have a commercial. You don't want to stop and say, oh, now time for the commercial. You make it flow and weave it in. You're naturally talking about the business with as much confidence and comfort as you talk about the wine and the invitation to host an event. So remember that it can be that easy. So it's all about creating interest, right?
It really is. So the $1 million question.
Chris and Cindy, you know me, I'm a little bit excited sometimes. And that's my problem. I help people, but sometimes I don't focus on myself. I had a little coach call with Chris and we were talking about what I do, and I help more people than me. But actually by me, she was just telling me, by me helping my team, I'm actually helping myself. And it was like, I says, so I've been doing this all along. And then another thing, if I'm having an event, I'm not going to say, hi, can you please come to my event? I'm having a wine tasting. No, Eileen is like excited. Hey guys, we got this going on. We're going to have some freaking margaritas, you know, spice it up. Come bring somebody with you. That's how you do it. And I think I want to share that with people because you can't just invite somebody in that manner. Today, I just want you to excite yourself, excite somebody else, and grow with your team that's excited. When they're excited, you get that wave of push to excite more people. So that's all I want to share. And I'm just praying on everybody to get their goals done. Okay?
Well, I think Eileen took care of the group hello part. Look, if what we've learned from Eileen is you need to be excited. So you could say, I'm excited to be here with you tonight. Or you could say, let's drink some freaking margaritas, which is what she said, right? You could do a lot of things, but really the key is how you can make it relatable to yourself, right? And keep it authentic to yourself. That is one way to share it through the group hello. You can also say what people tell me they love most about One Hope is the wine. No, you can insert something else. During the wine tasting, when I received my join kit, it was hard to say which of these award-winning wines were my favorite, but great news. I don't have to choose. They're all amazing, and every wine gives back to a cause that's meaningful to you. Again, something that, if that doesn't sound like something you'd say, you just take that sentiment and adjust it so it is something that you would say. And then when you are, wrapping up the tasting, talking about what orders, what's going to go into their case, you could say something like, I'd love to share more about what it means to be a CE like me. We're going to chat when we're loading the wines in your case, something like that. Or if you've thought about it all, what it would be like to have fun sharing wine like me, then I'd love to tell you more information. Again, keeping it conversational, personable, and fun is really where it is at. Then once you have somebody that's interested, then what?
Then we have discovery calls, right, everybody? I mean, we've got 2 different kinds of discovery calls that we do here very successfully. The first one is a brief casual 3-way. That's 2 people with 1 person. So consider this. I say 2 people. You and your prospect come and you speak with a mentor who's going to ask questions, learn more about the prospect, and the prospect gets to learn more about One Hope. It's a conversation between you, your prospective CE, and your mentor. So we've got some training on that, of course, in the training center. And I think we're going to drop the training that we have for you in there. And then we also have our group discovery call. And our group discovery call, we don't really have a training for. We basically just do this, you guys. This is where we get together, Cindy and I, or Cindy and a leader, or me and a leader. We get together and we do a Zoom or a Facebook Live led by us. that can be for you and your prospective CEs. And it's for a group. It's just like it sounds. And that is where we don't necessarily focus on anybody one-on-one, asking them questions, they can ask us questions and we can ask them questions, but it's not going to be a one-on-one conversation with you as the enrolling CE listening. This is where you are listening, but we are facilitating some information. We're sharing a little bit about One Hope. We're wetting their whistle, we're opening up our storefront basically. And then we're inviting them to ask questions so that we can learn more about what they want to. What I can tell you guys is that we do have a group discovery call that's happening this Wednesday. And while we typically have our Work It Wednesday at 12:30, and we do our group discovery call at 12:30 Eastern, which is also 9:30 Pacific, 10:30 Mountain, and 11:30 Central. Or I don't know right now how that works in Arizona, if anybody's in Arizona, because I know that there's like a little crossover. But here's the thing. We are getting together for Work It Wednesday, but we're actually going to do our group discovery call in the evening so that you guys can get more people who work during the day, perhaps to be able to come in the evening. So we're going to do it at 8:30 p.m. Eastern or 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So write down that time. We are going to post that after the training. We're going to post the event, and we're excited about that. But remember, discovery calls are great for you to be able to duplicate offering the opportunity and talking about the opportunity so that people can learn and people can, see that, hey, this is easy. All I need to do is bring somebody to a call like this, and you guys can help me with getting them to join. So, but what's the hardest part about a discovery call, Cindy?
Inviting them.
Exactly.
It's like, what do you say to them, right? Chris, just so you know, I did drop both links in there.
Thank you.
So what would it look like? There's a couple different ways you can go about it. The first one is, and you can, read through them here. Let's schedule a phone call with my friend who's been with One Hope a while. Something that's relatable. Or maybe if you know that, let's say you know somebody that is on the board of a nonprofit. Let's make this really personal. You could say, hey, Chris, I have a friend in this business who's on the board of a nonprofit, and I would love if you would hop on the phone and chat with her about hearing more about what it would like to be a CE.
Okay.
That's very personal, right? So think about what they do in their life and how it would relate to them, and then personalize those words. A very, basic blanket invitation is I'd love to invite you to explore more about One Hope. Are you available this Wednesday? And then you're going to give the specific time because we do have a call already that's planned. That's actually the next one. In case you were wondering about what I do, I would love to introduce you to a couple of my friends who will be answering questions and chatting about One Hope. Are you free Wednesday at 5:30? So that again is one that's a little more prescriptive. But if you are trying to nail down a discovery call, it is good to offer a specific day. So if you're looking to grow, maybe you check with your mentor ahead of time and you say, if Chris is my mentor, I would say, Chris, I really am looking to grow and I'd like to book some discovery calls. Do you have any time on Wednesday or Thursday? Chris would then give me a day. And then I would go back and then talk to my potential CE and say, does Thursday work for you? So then I already know that my mentor is available, and it helps cut down some of the timing between contacting them and working out the schedule.
And as always, you have a reach out library that you can go back to. That's a resource that's available to you. If you go to your CE back office, we do have some great join reach out so that you can be able to invite people to the discovery call. You might just need to customize the message a little bit. Keep the link there for people to be able to go back, to your website afterwards. But, this is just a great way to be able to also reach out to people, right?
Absolutely. I love those reach outs. I love those reach outs.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. All right. Well, we have a call to action, of course, every single week. So we want to remind you guys, of course, our Work It Wednesday, this Wednesday, it's a double header Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Mountain, 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern. We're going to be working on reaching out and inviting your prospects. So it's what we're going to be talking about with you, and you are welcome to do that because it is a working half hour. And here's the thing, you guys, we're going to talk about objections. Last week we did this right before the booking blitz. We talked about booking blitz objections. We will talk to you guys about any common objections that you are hearing or that you're anticipating on Wednesday, because as you're doing reach outs and inviting people to our second event of the day, the discovery call, then you will be armed with hopefully some good words to say. And then we'll do our discovery call, our group discovery call at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely. And of course, if that time doesn't work for you, then reach out to your mentor and ask to schedule a time for a discovery call with them and your potential CE.
Awesome. And of course, find that courage. Close your March strong by focusing on reaching out for a couple of additional outside orders. Remember that every $500 event earns you an event kit credit, and every $500 in new customer retail sales and new CEs are going to close your rings. So what are you guys going to do this week? I can't wait to see. I'm excited.
They are going to find their courage.